Good morning. Time now is 3:44 in the morning. Yeah, 16 degrees, still in my shorts, Fleet Services, overnighted here, and yeah, slept a while actually, got a good few hours in, good few hours break. We're off. Many in here tonight, got to be honest. There was a few spots behind me. I've seen this all stacked out before. All parking down along here. So I'm on day off today. Yeah, day off. Paid to run in. This is where you can't see. Yeah, there's a good way markers there. Heading down to Southampton, down the M3, and we're done for the day. All I've got to do is go back, refuel, drop the trailer, park up, and fuck off. Had enough. After yesterday's debacle, okay, it all worked out in the end, but I was thinking about it last night, because these things tend to, this is high functioning anxiety for you. You go over and over and over the scenario. I was thinking about it last night, and they said, yeah, we let the other driver go because he had a quick tip. And like I said to him, I said, yeah, that's fine, he had a quick tip. His was all on pallets. What happens if mine wasn't on pallets? It wouldn't have been a quick tip, would it? It would have been a 3-hour job. Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't think of these things, do you? So effectively, you hung me out to dry because of your lack of planning. What do you do for a living? I'm a planner. Yeah. You know, it's just the simple things, isn't it? We're being lied to. That yeah, you're going to get there, you're going to swap trailers, which means that you can get in and out safely because the other driver's got bags of time. No, you don't think of that. You don't think of the forwarding consequences. But you're quite happy for me to run out of time. As it was, I couldn't get back to Southampton last night. Bearing in mind I'm having a day off today. It's like, fucking hell. And after all of that, after me saying, right, I'm happy to. The reason I'm having the day off is because it's quiet, and they said anybody wants to take a day off, down to you. Yeah, I'll take a day off, so I'm taking it as unpaid. You know, it doesn't. A day off, I don't care. I'm grateful for it. So I'm doing them a favour by cutting costs. So you'd have thought they would have been a bit more helpful, seeing as I'm helping them out. It's like, hang on a minute, I'm doing you a big favour here. No, you lay on the floor and I'll piss all over you. That's how I feel. So we're going away on holiday, and we're going to decide what to do when I get back. Well, no, we're going to decide what to do whilst we're on holiday. it doesn't help that the interest rates have gone up by 0.5%. So there's an added bit of pressure there. Bloody hell, the heat's just kicking in. Woo! It's warm. I've got a fan on full blast. Turn the fan down a bit. I've got a current here. Just move out. Better space. Could have been under the wheel, do you know what I mean? It's like this time of night, there's nobody about. I can move out quite safely and get out of his way without him fearing that I'm about to run over him. So yeah, we've more or less got things in place for me to be able to. Okay, right. I've been looking for a little while to get out of the industry. And the reason behind it is that I'm out of love with it. I enjoy driving, and when the company's good, it's very good. When the company's bad, it's very bad. And there's very little middle ground, you know. And I appear to be. I feel like I'm having more bad days, more being mucked about than I'm having good days. You know, I mean, you see it because I vlog every day. I mean, the levels of stupidity that we have to deal with on a regular basis is just, I just don't need it in my life, you know. There's more to life than that. And the fact that I'm away from home during the week is just that it's getting tiresome. And especially in this weather, absolutely kills it. It is horrible. You know, you go and have a shower, get back in the truck, and you're immediately sweating straight away. It's like, really, you know. It's just, I've got USB fans that I run all night, and it's still horrible. It's just, you got to have your windows open, otherwise you can't sleep in the, you know, you can't sleep in the truck with the window shut. Or in the afternoon, or anyway, because it's well, you don't leave a dog in a car, do you? Why would you leave a trucker? It's bloody off. You got to have your windows down, but then you got all the noise of everyone, you know, mooching about and trucks starting and stopping and moving off and clanking and just general hubbub, you know. And it makes for a very unpleasant job. So you're on sleep deprivation straight away, and it's just not good. It's just not good for you. Oh, why don't you get a day job? Well, yeah, I could get a day job, I suppose, but I'm still. And the other thing is, it's like 13 to 15 hours a day. I worked 3 lots of 14 hours this week and took 3 nights off on the trot. That's a lot of hours. You know, we work excessive hours in reasonably difficult circumstances. The job itself is easy. No, don't be under any illusion that the job's difficult. It's easy. It's driving. It's driving. Do you know what I mean? It's not. The job in itself is not difficult. It's not rocket science. It's not. you know what I mean? It's not on a... But we're not compensated for A, being away from home, starting early in the morning, working long days, having to walk into a shower that 50 other blokes have already been into without it being cleaned. Pretty gross. You know, sometimes you look at it and it's like, there's a fucking herd of goats been in here. Minging. And I got to a stage of my life where I don't need this sort of shit. I don't need to be getting up at 3, 4, or like this week. I got up that early, I met myself going to bed. If you don't like it, if you can't hack it, there's nothing to do with whether you can hack it or not. It's whether you want to or not. And I personally don't want to. I can hack it. I've done it, and I've done a lot worse, I can tell you, when I was in. You know, so it's don't, you know. I just don't need to. And if I don't need to, why should I be doing it? We were talking about it with the gorgeous Kira last night, and it's just, it's not, you know, she had she had problems changing the plates on the, she's posh, she has her own private plate, right? We all know she's posh. And on her plate it's Kira. It says Kira. So we took it off the Fiat 500, which was her car, and we wanted to put the plate onto the Range Rover, which is her car. And yeah, so she took it off the Range Rover plate. Sorry, took her Kira plate, which was on the Fiat, off of the Fiat, and reverted back to its original plate. No problem at all. Okay, done. So that's all right. Went to put it on Range Rover, denied. No. Why is it denied? Don't know. Gorgeous Kira tried to get an hold of, couldn't fathom out. Wasn't sure whether it's something she did or you know, because you can't have a plate that makes the car look younger than it actually is. Yeah, that's right. And it was like, well, it's been on older cars before. Why is it? Is there something we don't know, or is it just a system malfunction, or is it what's the score here? So I said, phone them up. So she was on the phone for bloody hours on hold, trying to get through the DVLA. It's just like, you know. It's just impossible. Eventually she got through, and the woman goes, I can't see a problem. Try it now. Boing. Straight in. Oh, system needed to update. Well, your systems, you've had fucking 3 or 4 years, a couple of years of lockdown where you all worked from home and did fuck all. Effectively closed down, and you're telling me now your system's not working? Useless bastards. So anyway, plate's now on, but it was all a hassle that she, you know, she's got quite a stressful job, poor girl. You know? And yeah, she didn't need that. But if I was like, I could do that, but I can't do that in the truck. it would just be more or less impossible to do. And it's just loads of stuff like that. I mean, she does so much, and I'm so grateful for what she does. She runs the house, she does all of this, but I can't do that whilst I'm in a truck. I'm pretty useless at it, even if I was at home. But at least I'll be able to lie a bit of moral support. And we were saying about it, you know, it's not just the financial aspect. You know, I could go and do a job where I earn half as much money, and we'd still be, yeah, it'd be a bit awkward, but you know, we'd be all right. We'd be all right, and it's a mental cost to us both. It's not that doing this job doesn't do me any favours, I can assure you. And it's a mental cost to the gorgeous Kira, because she suffers as well because I'm not there, and she misses me and I miss her. You know, it's So anyway, over the last 2 or 3 months, well, over the last 6 months, we've had a bit of an idea. So I've done something similar to it before, but not as full on. So I've had to jump through a few hoops and make things happen. And we're nearly at the stage where I can go, you know what?
Miles, keep right.
One piece of the jigsaw for me to fit in, and I can go and do and make some money and be home every night, be around, and start to get things in place for, well, just get things in place really. Yeah, so we're gonna have a bit of a talk about it. Well, we've talked about it already. It's just deciding when is the question. Let's pick in the moment.
After half a mile, keep right.
Yeah, so
keep right.
There may be some changes sooner rather than later. A bit daunting, a bit frightening, but you know, it's not just a financial you know, take a financial hit.
Southampton for 19 miles.
But mentally, it's a positive score mentally, and you have to weigh those two up. So anyway. So we have a plan. You need to have a plan. You need to have a plan in life. And I've spent too many years without a plan. Well, I've had plans, and then they've all, you know, but I've always had a plan, and I've always been able to put a plan into place to get me back on track again. And I've said this before. There's people in life that, and I've got friends that do it. I know people that do it. That they get a job. You know, they got a job. They left school. They got a job. Got married, had kids. They've moved twice in their whole life. And one of those times was leaving home. Do you know what I mean? Stayed at the same job for 40 plus years. And go on holiday once a year. And, you know, they've just grafted away. Just worked away. And in a way, I sort of envy them that they're happy with their lot. And it sometimes I think frustrates me. On a personal level, not because of their lifestyle, but because of mine and what I want to do and what I still want to do. And I couldn't be like that. I can't do. I'm not right. I'm not right in the head. I can't. I've tried having the regular job and all the rest of it. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work. Yeah, it really doesn't work. You know, sometimes I've had jobs that I've been very successful at and earned a lot of money and had all the trappings, nice house, 4-bedroom detached house, blah blah, all that bollocks. Don't do you any good. Well, it didn't do me any good. This is always like that. There's something else, and it's that feeling of something else. There's something else. There's a new challenge. You know. What's the next challenge? Some people are happy without having a challenge. They're just like, yeah, that's, you know, my challenge is to go to work and get home. And that's it. That's my only challenge. Well, that's not even a challenge. I don't have a challenge at all. It's just to wake up breathing. That's it. And that's a fairly good one. Do you know? That's a humble challenge. I wish that was my only challenge. But I've got millions of challenges going on in my head, trying to work out what can I do, how can I do this, how can I do that. Hence the reason we were, you know, the movement to France was a goer, and it's not completely off the cards. We're still keeping an eye on the current situation because things are changing, but I don't think it's going to change enough to enable us to do. If we were just retiring, it would be a done deal. We'd be going. Because of the work implications, it causes the red tape is unbelievable. So by moving to Scotland, you get a cheaper option. It gives us a lifestyle that we want. So we'll see. But yeah, so in other news, today is the day that one of the, not only getting a star into line, but it's actually getting a planet into line. Well, the planet is coming up. Today is like a D-Day moment where it's aligned. It's like, yeah, it's like a D-Day moment. It's been aligned. It's whether we can keep it in alignment. If it stays in alignment, happy days, we're good to go. So a lot is riding on the next couple of weeks really. I mean, it's all tying in. If all the stars align, it would have been like all the worry and the, not stress, well, sort of stress, but the thinking and deliberating and trying to fathom out will all be worth it, you know. It'll all be worth it, and all tying quite nicely with our trip up to Scotland this week. A week to go, and then we're viewing houses. Well, we're going to have a look. It's worth having a look, just to see, you know, and just to get a feel for things. But if it all goes to plan and an offer is accepted, then we can actually, you know, if we see a house we like, we can go, yeah, no, let's get the wheels in motion. Let's make this happen. But at the moment, we're just going up to have a look. There you go. Don't know how long I've been waffling on for now. A little while, I suppose. So we're just heading down towards Winchester now. We'll be getting the road work shortly. I should be back in town at 4:45. I've got about half hour to go. It's an hour from Fleet, roughly. Yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, that's the state of play at the moment. life's short. There was one of our blokes at work. He's just died. He had cancer. You know, he's based up in Felixstowe, so he died recently, and I only met him once, and that wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it was this year. Well, it's the last time I was in Felixstowe. Just a few months back, but so he sadly passed away. And then a driver down in Southampton, apparently there was I'd heard a couple of people have said, but they didn't know why. And then it's come out now. There was a lorry. And I don't even know whereabouts it was, but it was cordoned off and parked up. Yeah, bloke had a heart attack. Driver had a heart attack in the truck. I was sat in the Stockyard. What night was it? Tuesday night, Wednesday night? I don't know, whatever night it was. And I was looking around, and it's a bit like it's an old pub. So you sat in a pub, and in the dining area. And all the tables there's places, there's table for 2, table for 4s, table for 6s, table for 8s. But the vast majority of them are taken up by one solitary trucker per table. And I sat there, and the vast majority were on their phones, scrolling through, got a death scroll, looking at shit. And that was the old days. We all be talking to each other, and what I noticed the most. Well, there's a couple of things I noticed. Firstly, that we're all sat on our own. Everyone was sat individually. Everyone looked haggard, tired, drained of life, and unhappy. And the other thing I noticed that I don't think there was anyone under the age of 50 sat in there. There must have been about 20 plus blokes dotted about. I'd sort of look around. 15, 20 blokes all in there, all eating their dinners, all on their own. And every one of us looked totally shot to pieces. I came out of there quite depressed, actually. Because it sort of sums up the situation. So we're going to see what we get stitched up with for Monday morning. I can guarantee it's going to be an early start, and I just don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Oh, it's nice and quiet through here though. Look at this. Can't remember the last time I come through where it's been so quiet. There's absolutely nothing on my side of the road. Nothing at all. Got nothing behind me, nothing in front. It's like when I was working during the pandemic when there was nothing around. So a few weeks ago I said that there's nothing on the docks. Well, that's still the case, because obviously work's drying up, and it's the reason why the work's drying up is because there's no boxes coming in, and the reason why there's no boxes coming in because no one's buying anything, and that means that people are feeling the pinch, and with interest rates going up, that's only going to get worse. So yeah, we are heading for a recession. It's taken a little while. It's been induced by the banks. But the problem is the interest rates can't go up too much, otherwise everything will implode. I was listening to a report on the radio the other day, on Radio 4, and they were saying that, people were saying, it could go back up to 15%. We've had it. Yeah, I've paid interest rates of 15% on a mortgage before, back in 91. Yeah, I've done that, been there. Wasn't pretty. Negative equity, yeah, had a good dose of that. Thank you very much. Yeah, been there, done it. Crawled back. But they were saying though that if interest rates went back up to those dizzy levels, if they went any higher than 10%, then the banks would implode, because you'd have so many people are starting to feel the pinch now, can't afford their mortgages and having to sell up, and feeling that pressure. And we're only, bear in mind, we're only at what are we at? We're not high, are we? 5-6% base rate. So there's a little bit more room to go. There's a long way, you can double that more or less. But if you doubled it, the banks would implode, which means the economy would not just crash, it would just go through the floor. There would be no that would be it. There would be no economy. There would be, well, it was quite the scenario they painted was catastrophic. It was, yeah, you may as well eradicate life. It just wasn't nothing was doable. So I don't think it's going to get to that. I hope that it won't get to that stage. But I think interest rates will certainly go up, maybe another whole 1%, maybe 2%, and that will totally knacker a good portion of the population. They're saying, that people in their 30s and 40s have never experienced this.
1.2 miles, take the exit 13M27 towards Southampton docks.
They've always been, they've for the last 15-20 years they've had interest rates that have been 2-3%. maybe 4% at the tops, but they were on their way down, and every month the interest rates were falling until they were practically zero. And they've been happy days for the last, and they've got used to that, and they've adjusted their spending habits and and working habits to take that into consideration. Now, is this a clever way to get more people back into work? Just thought of this, just sending that out there. they've been saying since the pandemic that the over 50s have been dropping out purely simply because they've gone, do you know what, I've had enough, I don't need to.
13 M27 towards Southampton docks.
I don't need to, we can afford to, let's just play it by ear. I can afford to semi-retire, and they're not going back, and they've gone, that's it, finished. And now, with the interest rates rising, they're going, I could do with an extra couple £100 a month just to sort the bills out. Perhaps I should go back to work. What do you reckon? Yeah, I reckon that'd be a good idea. Right, I'll do that then. Could all be a fix, couldn't it? Who knows? There's a conspiracy theory for you. Anyway, I've talked enough. I'm heading back.
After 3/4 of a mile, keep right.
Heading back into town. Don't have to get the box off, just abandoning the trailer in the yard. I'll refuel. And I'm done. So I'll speak to you all. We're going up to Nottingham on Saturday. So I've got the day off. Saturday we're going to Nottingham.
Mile, keep right.
I might go and see Doris later on today in hospital. She's still in there. Pretty certain they're going for open heart surgery. And I'm sure I was given a date for when it was, but do you think I can remember? No. Can't remember.
Keep right.
So we'll find that out later. So I might record going up to Nottingham, I don't know. Oh! Range Rover, we had a little bit of a water leak. I don't know if I think I mentioned it.
M27 towards Southampton.
It was a negligible amount. It was really difficult to work out where it was, and it was either, I think I said, I'm hoping that it was just a pipe, because if it's burning it off, then that is really not good. But we took it went into the garage yesterday to have it looked at to find out exactly what. So they pulled it apart, sort of thing. Got underneath and took the belly pan out and all that malarkey to have a look, and they found a hose that was weeping, so they've replaced the hose, and because it was such a minute amount, it wasn't a great deal of water. The engine wasn't getting hot. The water level was going down slowly over, and we went out to Birmingham and back, and it was just dropped a little bit. So it was a tiny amount that it was losing. So they've replaced the hose, new clips, all that malarkey. It was less than £100 to do. And happy days. Hopefully we'll keep an eye on it now, and we should be good as gold. So phew, that's a relief. Less than £100. If that had been a head gasket, oh dear, that'd have been. She's going. After we just spent £400 on getting a tow bar on it, and £600 to redo the tailgate. Yeah, good. So anyway, all done and dusted. We're ready to rock and roll. I'm nearly back at the yard, and I've been talking all the way since Fleet, so I've bored you to death, no doubt. And I wish you all a happy weekend. I'm going to have a good one. Going to make sure of that. And what else was I going to say? I was going to say, do you know when someone's more on the tip of your tongue and you're going to say it and you go, like, no, it's gone. So, words of warning: watch out for bears. Watch out for llamas, because you don't need too many llamas in your life. Saying that, when we get to Scotland, gorgeous Kira quite likes the idea of having a couple. Yeah. I'm hoping she's thinking of the four-legged ferry kind. Those sort of llamas, I can live with. Yeah, I can do a couple of them because they're a bit geeky and goofy, aren't they? You know. Yeah. Right. I'm totally waffling. Randoms. Let's see how many people are in randoms. Just to give a bit of an idea as to how busy or quiet it is. If I wanted to get in there, could I get in there?
Take the exit 3M271.
It's quite busy in there. A lot of coaches. A lot of coaches. Yeah, it's quite busy in there. So you've got lots of festivals going on this weekend, haven't you? There was loads of coaches with loads of young people on, all milling about, not having a clue what they're doing. Don't know which day of the week it is because they're sniffing icicles. Yeah, Glastonbury I think is this weekend, and there's Reading Festival, and I think there's Leeds Festival. Full on. Right, I'm going. I'll speak to you all later. Watch out for them bears and watch out for the llamas.